Hey guys, what's up? My name is Shanwin and today alikat pag-usapan natin itong 32 cases ni Attorney Libayan. Yung naging desisyon. It's very unfortunate na hindi tayo nakahabol. Kasi nga, sobrang naging busy. Actually, hindi pa naman tapos yung finals pero we're trying to catch up with the contents, mga pinag-uusapan ng mga tao. Ngayon tayo ay makikisawsaw. There you go. Actually, itong video na to, napanood na natin to ng buo. Pero there are few things na gusto ko lang din, no, na mapanood with you. At magkokomento tayo kung kailangan. Otherwise, we can just listen, no, all throughout. Pero ito ay isa sa mga pinakamahabang naging video ni Attorney Libayan. As you can see, 31 minutes po ito. We'll try to see if we can finish this. Okay? Tara.
Alright. Yan. Magandang araw mga kabatas natin at welcome sa isang mong live stream. Mga kabatas natin, this is it, unsit. No? Pag-usapan na natin yung 32-0. Okay? Ngayon, before we proceed to that, mga kabatas natin, let's do some housekeeping first. Okay? Kailangan ng housekeeping. Unang-una, mga kabatas natin, yung usapang finality of judgment. Okay? Usapang finality of judgment. Mga kabatas natin, I want you to understand, no, that there is a difference between a criminal case and a civil case. Okay? Sa civil case, mga kabatas natin, once a civil case is dismissed, it is appealable. Okay? Pwede mong i-appeal yan. Ibig sabihin, pag na-appeal ang isang kaso, mga kabatas natin, it does not become final and executory. In relation to a criminal case, mga kabatas natin, once a criminal case is dismissed, okay, that's it, pansit. It is not subject to appeal because if you appeal the case, it is considered double jeopardy. Ibig sabihin, mga kabatas natin, because these cases were dismissed, okay,
guys, may singit ko lang, no? Sisingit tayo once in a while. Under po sa ating Bill of Rights, walang kahit sino mang pong tao ang pwedeng makasuhan na magko-constitute po sa double jeopardy. Okay? Kung ikaw ay nakatulan na sa isang kaso, hindi ka na pwedeng sampahan pa ng isa pang kaso patungkol sa same facts, sa same issue, dahil nga po yan ay nadesisyonan na ng korte. Kasi pag nangyari po yan, ang tinatawag po dyan ay double jeopardy. Okay?
It's already terminated. Ngayon, mga kabatas natin, binanggit ko sa inyo.
By the way, maisingit ko lang ulit, meron din po tayong tinatawag na forum shopping. Pagdating po sa forum shopping, pag kayo po ay nagsampa ng kaso, okay, meron pong certificate ng about sa forum shopping. Ibig sabihin, ang forum shopping po, in simple terms, hindi po kayo pwedeng mag-file ng pare-parehong kaso sa iba't ibang korte. Para lang makuha ninyo, 'di ba? Kasi malaki rin po ang possibility na mag-iiba-iba ang desisyon ng mga courtroom. Okay, ng mga judges na nag-handle ng case nyo. Okay. May possibility, hindi ko sinasabing laging ganun nangyayari. Ngayon, kung halimbawa kayo ay napatunayan na nagpo-forum shopping, malaki rin po ang possibility na i-dismiss po ang inyong kaso.
Yung petition for review on certiorari based on Rule 65. Sinasabi kasi nila, hindi pa tapos yan. Meron pang petition for review on certiorari based on Rule 65. That is a different case. Okay? Why? Because Rule 65, mga kabatas natin, is a petition. Okay? It is a petition and the parties there will be different. Anong ibig sabihin ko doon? Kasi nga, you will file a case. A petition for review on certiorari based on Rule 65 if there is grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction in relation to any instrumentality of the government. Anong mangyayari dyan ngayon, mga kabatas natin? If you file a petition for review on certiorari, mga kabatas natin, magiging party to the case yung judge. Actually, mga kabatas natin, ang ina-assail mo doon ay yung judge. And it is no longer this case. Okay? Nagets nyo na. Nagets nyo na. A petition for review on certiorari is a different case. This also are different cases. Tama, kayo. So, separate case. Yes, because in the petition for review on certiorari, you will assail or you will allege grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction in relation to how the judge
Decided the case.
Decided on the case. Okay? Kaya pag nakikita nyo, mga kabatas natin, doon sa mga criminal cases, kung saan may petition for review on certiorari, mga kabatas natin, no? Versus judge something, something, something. Okay? Gets nyo na. Ngayon, let's go to the number of cases or counts. This is how it is, mga kabatas natin, ha? Itong kasong ito, this is a very good example, no? People of the Philippines versus Attorney Rani Randolph Libayan for copyright infringement. Criminal cases, numbers 7898 to 7929, TG. 32 counts. Ibig sabihin, mga kabatas natin, these are 32 cases. 32 cases ito na kinonsolidate. Okay? The same with the other 2 cases. Dalawang kaso lang dapat yon. They can be tried separately, but they were consolidated. Okay? Because it involves the same parties and pwede namang litisin siya ng sabay-sabay. So this one, mga kabatas natin, every criminal case, not only criminal case, every civil case, mga kabatas natin, there are as many cases as there are case numbers. Okay? So ito, mga kabatas natin, 7898 to 7929, these are 32 cases. Now, let's talk about probable cause. Okay? Yung probable cause na pinag-uusapan dito, mga kabatas natin, nung kabilang kubol, we are way past that. Yung probable cause kasi na sinasabi nila, doon sa prosecutor yon. Okay? Yung probable cause na dinidecide doon sa prosecutor, yun, mga kabatas natin, yung nagsasabi kung pwede nga na may nangyaring krimen at pwede nga na ako yung gumawa ng krimen. Pagkatapos nun, ifa-file yung information, mawawala na sa prosecution yung jurisdiction, pupunta na sa korte. Ito pumunta na sa korte. Okay? Sabi ni Kayo, legit yan na separate cases kasi you can win 5 and lose 27 gets. Tama! Kasi dito sa 32 counts na ito, tama yung sinabi mo. Pwedeng makahanap ng guilt beyond reasonable doubt sa 5, tapos ma-acquit ako sa 27. Okay? Kinonsolidate lang o kaya pinagsama-sama lang para sa speedy disposition of cases and of course, speedy trial. For us to save the time and resources of the court. Okay? Pero attorney, bakit hindi nila binilang yung mga nalaglag sa original claims nila prior sa probable cause? Because, okay, they are already raffled to another judge. Nauna kasi yun. Okay? And these cases were also raffled to a different judge. Remember, anong nangyari? Nag-file sila ng motion for consolidation kung saan i-consolidate itong 32 counts na ito doon sa 2 counts. Di ba? but it was denied by the judge doon sa nag-handle ng 32 counts. Ganon na nangyari doon. Kaya ito, mga kabatas natin, they remained doon sa judge na nai-raffle ito. Gets? Kuha na. Kung may tanong kayo, tanungin nyo lang yan, mga kabatas natin. No? So we can clearly, we can clarify. Ngayon, mga kabatas natin, let's go to the petition for review on certiorari based on Rule 65. Yung petition for review on certiorari based on Rule 65, mga kabatas natin, like I said, that's a different case. And, okay, sino ang makakapag-file nun? Ang makakapag-file nun ay yung Office of the Solicitor General. Okay? It should be always with the conformity of the Office of the Solicitor General. It's no longer under the National Prosecution Service. Ang National Prosecution Service, mga kabatas natin, yung mga prosecutors natin, doon sila humahawak sa lower level courts. Okay? RTC, MTC. Pag aakyat na yan, mga kabatas natin, CA at saka Supreme Court, Office of the Solicitor General. Ang tanong, alam nyo naman na lahat, di binalo yung abogado ni o kaya si Raffy Tulfo, yung Raffy Tulfo in action, can they alone file a petition for review on certiorari? No. Because of the fact that criminal cases are pursued in the interest of the state, and the state is the principal component, and the private complainants are merely reduced into witnesses, okay? Hindi sila pwede na sila lang. Hindi pwedeng yung private complainant lang, kailangan meron yung Office of the Solicitor General. Ngayon, mga kabatas natin, tanong ulit, sandali, attorney, di ba sinabi mo rin na kapag yung mga criminal cases na yan, ang interest talaga ng private lawyers dyan ay yung civil aspect of the case. Totoo. But can they appeal that? Of course, they can appeal the civil aspect of the case if they will only appeal the civil aspect of the case. The problem here is, mga kabatas natin, they did not ask for any civil liability. Pag civil liability, ang usapan pera.
Okay, dun sa mga normally po, no, siyempre ako pa nag-i-explain, estudyante lang ako. Nagsasalita na nga si Attorney Liban. Hindi. Doon sa mga interesado lang malaman, normally po, pag kayo po ay nag-file ng isang criminal case, lagi po yung mayroong civil indemnity. Default yan. However, pwede mong i-waive yung civil indemnity na tinatawag. Minsan kasi, based sa mga napag-aaralan natin, ang civil indemnity po o yung mga civil ng aspect ng isang criminal case, pwede pong ma-file yan separately. Like in the case na sinasabi rito ni Attorney Libayan, pwede, ang interest lang ng RTIA Foundation is mapakulong itong si Attorney Libayan at hindi na siya pagbayarin ng mga danyos. Diba? Pwede yon. Pwede rin naman po na kung halimbawa, wala man nabanggit dito o hindi man na-include dito, okay, na meron silang hinihinging danyos, eventually, pwede rin sila mag-file in relation to the criminal case. Okay. Again, it is just treated na separately, yun po ay magkakaroon ng trial. Then, another thing, sa pagkakaalam ko po, we're going to ask, alam niyo, napaka-busy po kasi ni Attorney Libayan lately. We're going to ask the confirmation of that. Ano yung sabihin ko? Kalimutan ko tuloy. Balik tayo kay Attorney Libayan.
Okay? Whenever you say civil liability, pera yan. Pera ang usapan. How can Raffy Tulfo in action ask naman daw for civil liability or pera kung they are a foundation? If you are a foundation, of course, you're not in it for the money.
Before ko makalimutan, nakiusap ako kay Attorney Claire. Kung pwede niyang i-discuss, no? Yung RTIA Foundation in relation to the RCCP. So, abangan natin. Siguro one of these days, mai-content yan ni Attorney Claire.
Right? Oh. I hope nasagot ko na lahat yon. Let's go to the omnibus resolution. Mga kabatas natin, this is a work of art as well as the omnibus resolution din na denial ng motion for reconsideration.
By the way guys, pareho nating nabasa yung omnibus na yan. No? Na-share sa atin ni Attorney Libayan nung finally nagkaroon na ng closure, kumbaga.
Okay? Yun yung titignan natin. Ngayon, mga kabatas natin, umpisa pa lang. Si Pilate. What is truth? Pilate asked. John 18:38. Okay, sabi niya, in a world where each and every information is at the click of a finger, the question of Pontius Pilate becomes relevant. Si Pilate agad, mga kabatas natin. Indeed, what is truth in the clash of civilizations? Grabe yung mga basis, no? Parang, whew.
Cheap hotel rates. Cheap travel.
What is truth when the scientific theory of relativity by Albert Einstein had been co-opted by the political, socio-economic, psychological spheres such that the individual reigns supreme over all cultures? What is truth when everything is relative? Is there any more truth in law? Can justice be anywhere in the system when truth is hidden by the powers that be? The search for truth herein stems from filing of criminal cases number 7153 and 7154 TG under the following allegations. Ito yung original na dalawang kaso. Okay, mga kabatas natin. 7153 and 7154. Remember, this is the decision that is 123 pages. Kaya lang, marami kasing information nito. Okay? Ito, mga kabatas natin, yung unang information nila, lahat ng mga kaso, sinali. Yan. Sinali lahat, mga kabatas natin, contrary to law. Tapos, ang nangyari dyan, on May 26, 2023, Assisting Judge Jamie B. Santiago required the amendment of the cases within 5 days to state with particularity the chapter of Section Part 4, Republic Act 8293, violated and to provide evidence within said period on why the acts of the accused may not be considered as within protected rights under Chapter 15, Section 212 to 214.4, Part 4 of Republic Act 8293 on pain of dismissal. Mga kabatas natin, ganito kasi nangyari. Nung umpisa, mga kabatas natin, ang unang humawak, no, si Judge Jamie B. Santiago. Yung dalawang kaso ni Judge Jamie B. Santiago, yung dalawang kaso, yung unang-unang copyright infringement na final, no, at na-raffle kay Judge Jamie B. Santiago, mga kabatas natin, ito yung ginawa niya. And it was dismissed by Judge Jamie B. Santiago. Then, after that, si Judge Jamie B. Santiago, mga kabatas natin, na early retirement, pagkatapos niyan, nalipat sa ibang judge, then it was reinstated by the former judge. The subsequent judge. Okay? Ngayon, mga kabatas natin, let's not dwell on that muna. Pero these are the facts, no, that will not be affecting the other cases. Assisting Judge Jamie B. Santiago dismissed the cases on the ground that copyright infringement is misplaced since the accused did not pass the videos of Raffy Tulfo in action as his own works. So, dinismiss yung unang dalawa. Ngayon, mga kabatas natin, nagkaroon ng ganito. On 7 December 2023, Assisting Judge Maria Paz R. Reyes Izon partially granted the motion for reconsideration on the dismissal order on the ground that fair use of a copyrighted work is a matter of defense and must be subjected to a full-blown trial. Na-reinstate. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo, mga konsahan. The said court had allowed the amendment of the informations per Section 110, Rule 110, Section 14 of the Rules of Criminal Procedure. Okay? Kasi hindi pa daw ako na-arraign. So, ganon, no? Yun nangyari dyan, by reason of said 7 December 2023 order and the observations of both judges in their respective orders, the Assistant City Prosecutor Rene, recommended the filing of 32 informations. So, nandyan na yung 32 informations.
Ito guys, no? Ito yung masakit na part para sa amin na nag-aaral ng batas. No? Sa amin dalawa ni Mantemio, we don't know kung gaano pa karami ang nanunod kay Atty. Libayan na nag-aaral ng batas. Kasi paano ito na-file nang hindi man lang dumaan sa due process si Atty. Libayan? Ito pong 32 cases na to, supposedly ko consider ito as a new case. Meaning, since new case siya, so magkakaroon ng sabina, papadalan siya to answer those allegations against him. Dapat sa prosecutors, pa lang, is pag na-file ni, or kung masagot ni Atty. Libayan at hindi naman nakitaan ng probable cause, okay, based dun sa mga allegations ng kampo ni Raffy Tulfo, pwede rin naman na hindi na yan umabot sa korte. Ang tanong nga namin kay Atty. Libayan, ikaw ba ay nabigyan ng proper due process tungkol dito? Ano sagot sa amin ni Atty. Libayan? Nagulat na lang siya, nagising na lang siya na meron siyang 32 cases. Na hindi man lang siya dumaan sa proper procedure patungkol dito. Ano yung natututunan natin dito? That there are really some, sabihin na lang natin, member. Hindi sila, okay, by the way guys, no, ang mga yung mga taga-office of the prosecutor, hindi sila mere member ng judiciary. Ang mga abogado yung mga yan. Okay? Mga abogado yung mga yan, pero hindi po sila under ng judiciary. They don't work for the judiciary, but they work for DOJ, which is DOJ is under the executive branch of our government. Okay? Matatawa rin po kayo dahil yung mga ginagawa nilang procedure has nothing to do with the quasi-judicial. Okay? So, yun yung nag-aano sa amin as reflection na bilang kami mga estudyante, kung ano yung pinag-aaralan namin sa libro, yung mga nawi-witness namin, taliwas doon sa sinasabi ng mga libro. Diba? Knowing that, ano-ano ba itong mga nakaano rito sa libro? One, yung rules of court. Diba? Na pag may final kang kaso sa isang tao through the office of the prosecutor, para mag-kick in ang due process para sa kanya, kailangan padala mo ng sabina yung inaakusahan. Kailangan bigyan mo ng opportunity na makasagot yung inaakusahan doon sa mga bagay na ina-accuse sa kanya. That was deprived from Atty. Libayan as far as my knowledge is concerned regarding dito sa 32 cases. Kung yan nagagawa kay Atty. Libayan, how much more sa isang tao na walang kaalam-alam patungkol sa mga ganitong bagay? Diba? Tapos sino yung involved dito? Foundation ng isang senador na isang legislator. Diba? Balik tayo.
Ito yung 32 informations, mga kabatas natin. Ito yung mga na-dismiss. Boom, ang dami. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, yan. Yan, puro information yan, mga kabatas natin. Yan. Daming kaso, no? Nakakalula. And it's also scary. Imagine, pag pumasok tong mga kasong to, mga kabatas natin, abot ng mga almost 700,000 pesos. 700,000 pesos, aabot ng mga 700,000 pesos, mga kabatas natin, yung magiging bail ko. Doon sa pineg ng prosecutor na, amount of bail. Okay, ito, dismissed. Ito yung mga kasong dismissed. Ang dami. So, linabas yan, mga kabatas natin dito bilang basis, no, ng kaso. Ngayon, mga kabatas natin, sabi niya dito, attach on this each information, blah, 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 prosecutor, pinaka-consolidate yung case. Ano na lang yan, mga kabatas natin, ito, ano na lang yan, reiterations lang ng mga nandun sa taas. Okay? Sabi niya, on 22 February 2024, Attorney Randolph Biliban filed the motions for judicial determination of probable cause in all the cases herein upon the following grounds. That the additional 32 informations did not emanate from the preliminary investigation nor from the 5 May 2023 resolution of the prosecutor, that the said cases were not part of the records contrary to the claim of the prosecutor in its 15 February 2024 order, that the accused was surprised as to the basis of the 32 information since the videos of the private complainant subject of the preliminary investigation were not even close to such a number, blah, 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 that...
Guys, take note, no? Take note of the dates. Take note of the dates. Mamaya sabihin ko sa inyo anong importance ng mga dates.
The May 5, 2023 resolution found probable cause for only 2 counts. That the accused did not know who authenticated the videos and who made a sworn affidavit in relation to the allegations in the new informations, blah, 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 blah. That the accused was not furnished a copy of the said informations, blah, 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 blah. Ito yung sinabi ko, no? Tapos ito, 624,000, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Tapos dito, sumagot naman yung Rafi Tulfo in Action Foundation. Sabi niya, the accused motion for judicial determination of probable cause are superfluous and should be denied outright for being prohibited pleadings. Blah, 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 blah. The court should determine the existence of probable cause within 10 days from filing of the information to either dismiss the case or issue warrant of arrest. Okay? Sabi niya, since the additional 32 informations charge exactly the same crime as the initial 2 informations are based on the same Office of the City Prosecutor resolution and the same supporting evidence thereof were passed upon by previous judges of this court handling the 2 initial cases, blah, 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 blah. Ito rin yung mga allegations nila. Ngayon, ang maganda kasi dito, no, yung decision na ng korte. Nandito na mga kabatas natin nung siya ay yung korte na yung nagsalita dito. Doon sa taas kami kasi, ito na yung korte. Okay? Ngayon mga kabatas natin, there is a confusion herein on whether or not the court should comply with the mandate of Rule 112, Section 6 of the Rules of Criminal Procedure. The accused claimed that the court should do so per the motions for judicial determination of probable cause. The prosecution claimed that there is no need for the court to do so as the previous judges had already done so in the previous incarnation of these 32 cases, which are the initial 2 cases of criminal cases numbers 7153 and 7154. Neither is correct. Kasi sinabi ko mga kabatas natin, sinabi ko, ang gagawin dapat dito, sabi ko ganyan. Ang suggestion ko sa korte, no. Sinabi ko na dapat magkaroon ng judicial determination of probable cause. Sabi ko. Sabi naman nung Rafi Tulfo in Action, mga kabatas natin, sabi niya, tapos na yung motion for determination of probable cause. Sabi ganyan. Kasi nga, nakita na yan dun sa 2 kaso na nauna. Alam niyo, sinabi ng korte, wala ang tama sa inyo. Sabi ng korte, mga kabatas natin, walang tama sa inyo. Ito yung sinabi niya. No? Neither is correct, sabi niya. So, ibig sabihin, ako, tapos yung kalaban ko, yung Divina Law, Rafi Tulfo in Action Foundation, syempre, alam niyo naman yun, represented by the Divina, sabi, walang tama sa inyo. Sabi niya, bakit? Sabi niya, sinite niya itong mga ito. Rule 112, Section 6 of the Rules of Criminal Procedure. Sabi niya, when accused lawfully arrested without a warrant. When a person is lawfully arrested without a warrant involving an offense which requires a preliminary investigation, the complaint or information may be filed by a prosecutor without need of such investigation, provided an inquest has been conducted in accordance with existing rules. In the absence or unavailability of an inquest prosecutor, the complaint may be filed by the offended party or a peace officer directly. Wala naman, hindi naman masyado ito. Warrantless arrest lang. No? Sabi niya dito, Before the complaint or information is filed, the person arrested may ask for a preliminary investigation in accordance with this rule, but he must sign a waiver, sabi niya, of the provisions of Article 125 of the Revised Penal Code as amended in the presence of his counsel. Notwithstanding the waiver, he may apply for bail and the investigation must be terminated within 15 days from its inception. Ngayon, mga kabats natin, after the filing of the complaint or information in court without a preliminary investigation, the accused may within 5 days from the time he learns of its filing ask for a preliminary investigation with the same right to adduce evidence in his defense as provided in the rule. So ito mga kabats natin, arrest without a warrant, tapos yung filing, this is prosecutor's level. Itong kinote ng judge na ito, sinabi niya mga kabatas natin, such is not applicable herein.
Yun nga yung tanong eh. May ginawa ba si Attorney Libayan na applicable sa kanya ang warrantless arrest?
The accused had not been arrested herein lawfully or not. So hindi pa ako na-aresto, sabi ng judge. Lawfully or not. It is Rule 112, Section 5 of the Rules of Criminal Procedure which is applicable. It states that, sabi niya, when warrant of arrest may issue by the regional trial court within 10 days from the filing of the complaint or information, the judge shall personally evaluate the resolution of the prosecutor and its supporting evidence. He may immediately dismiss the case if the evidence on record clearly fails to establish probable cause. If he finds probable cause, he shall issue a warrant of arrest or a commitment order if the accused has already been arrested pursuant to a warrant issued by the judge who conducted the preliminary investigation. Or when the complaint or information was filed pursuant to Section 7 of this rule, in case of doubt on the existence of probable cause, the judge may order the prosecutor to present additional evidence within 5 days. So itong sinasabi niya dito mga kapatid natin, yung former judge, si Judge Santiago, ito yung ginawa niya, no? Sinabi niya na mag-present ka ng additional evidence. Yun yung ginawa sa kanila. From notice and the issue must be resolved by the court within 30 days from the filing of the complaint or information. Ganon, mga kapatid natin. Ngayon, said Section 5, Rule 112 provides for the judicial determination of probable cause for the issuance of a warrant of arrest in the information filed therein. This is mandatory on the part of the court. Yun yung hiningi ko. Tama naman, mga kabatas natin, yung sinabi ng Divina Law din doon. It is superfluous. Tama. Okay? It is really superfluous. Okay? Pero, of course, still, I asked for it. Okay? It's merely strategy. Okay? It's just strategy. Ngayon, this is the reason why a motion for determination of probable cause is deemed superfluous by the revised guidelines for continuous trial of criminal cases. Kasi nga, automatic na dapat na ginagawa yun ng judge. Okay? Nagets nyo na kung bakit superfluous siya. Hindi dahil wala dapat judicial determination of probable.
Ang tanong dito, di ba? Narinig niyo sinabi ni Attorney Libayan, automatic dapat yan ginagawa ng judge. Once na dumating sa kanyang information, yung information na yan pag-aaralan agad ng judge whether or not i-dismiss niya or mag-i-issue siya ng warrant of arrest. Okay? Ang tanong, uniform ba yan na ginagawa ng mga judges sa buong Pilipinas? Naniniwala ba kayo na lahat ng judge, I'm not saying this judge ha, okay? Naniniwala ba kayo na lahat ng judge yan ang ginagawa?
Cause, kundi dahil hindi mo na kailangang mag-file ng motion. Okay? In other words, the court should not wait for a motion for judicial determination of probable cause to be filed in order to determine if indeed a probable cause for the issuance of a warrant of arrest exists. Gets? Okay? Said guidelines do not dispense the court's obligation to determine probable cause. It actually exhorts the court to do their duty expeditiously in a proactive manner. Okay? So that is the reason why they said it's superfluous. Why it is a prohibited pleading. Because you're not supposed to do it anymore. Okay? Pero mga kabatas,
parang ano yan eh, Do not state the obvious. Huwag mong hingiin ng isang bagay na dapat kusa ng ginagawa. 'Di ba? Pero tama nga naman kasi si Attorney Libayan dito.
Natin, I still did it. You know, for obvious reasons. For obvious reasons.
Alam mo, the way I see it, kung bakit hiningi ni Attorney Libayan, no? Na nag-file siya ng petition for determination of probable cause, judicial probable cause. One, because hindi nga siya binigyan ng opportunity na sagutin lahat ng 32 cases na yan. Gusto lang siguro ma-establish ni Attorney Libayan. Hindi ko nakakausap si Attorney Libayan yet tungkol dito, no? Pero the way I interpret his actions, parang gusto niyang sabihin sa court, okay, na hindi ako pinasagot diyan sa 32 cases na yan. So, paano magkakaroon ng probable cause ang isang bagay kung, take note, kung hindi niyo ako pinasagot? Diba? Tama naman yung sinabi ni Kaayo eh. Pwedeng ma-acquit si Attorney Libayan sa ilan sa mga videos niyan at pwede rin naman na siya ay ma-convict. Pero ang gusto lang siguro nga emphasize dito ni Attorney Libayan, kaya niya final yan, hindi po ako pinasagot dyan sa 32 cases na yan. So, paano po mangyayari na magkakaroon ng probable cause ang mga complaint na yan kung hindi ako pinasagot? I was deprived of my due process. Diba? Imagine niyo, no? Sa totoo lang, when I learned about this, I even asked some of my professors na judge at saka justice, is that even possible yung ginawa ng prosecutor? Nagulat din sila. And some of them, they asked me the same question. Meron bang bagong batas o rulings? Diba? Some of them even said that's very premature.
I want to be sure. I want to be sure. Okay? Na magkakaroon. I know they know it. But of course, it's also, well, it's strategic on the part of lawyers din kasi. Yung mga gantong klase, no? It's strategic because, of course, you can tell what you want to tell the court. I know lawyers understand, no, why things happen, no? It's part of strategy, like I said. It must be remembered that criminal cases number 7153 and 7154 were first filed against the accused herein, which had concerned informations alleging the enumeration of all the reviewed videos of the accused, some of which are the subject of these cases, on the assumption of single motive, single crime. Judge Jamie B. Santiago found basis for fair use on the videos, but required the prosecution to provide evidence otherwise thereto, as he opined that there should be criminal intent for video or per act. The prosecution refused to do so as they insisted on their own interpretation. Yung unang judge, yung na early retirement, mga kapatid, si Judge Jamie Santiago, dinismiss na yung dalawa kasi. Okay? Pinapa-amend. Hindi naman inamend ng prosecution. Ngayon, according to Judge Jamie B. Santiago, Accordingly, Judge Jamie B. Santiago dismissed the two cases on the finding of fair use since the accused was making commentaries on the videos. The prosecution filed a motion for reconsideration thereto. Judge Maria Paz Reyes Izon had now replaced Judge Jamie B. Santiago, who had retired prematurely. Judge Maria Paz Reyes Izon granted partially the motion for reconsideration by allowing the prosecution to amend the informations in criminal cases number 7153 to 7154.
So this is something that it has to be clear sa atin, no? Because iba kasi yung sinasabi ng ibang tao patungkol dito. At least dito, mas malinaw na sa atin that they were given partial, no? They were granted partially. Diba? Now, ang tanong dyan, what do you think will be the fate nung remaining 2?
TG. So yun yung nangyari doon, mga kabatas natin, no? So it was reinstated. The amendments on the said informations were the deletion of the other videos as the subjects of the 2 initial informations. So ang nangyari dyan, mga kabatas natin, 2 na lang na videos ang naiwan doon sa pending pa na kaso ngayon. Okay? Like I said, we will not talk about that. That's a different case. Different case number, separate case. That's a different case. Let's not talk about it. Let's just talk about the 32 cases. But in relation to the copyright infringement cases, mga kabatas natin, they are 34 all in all. Okay. Ngayon, sabi niya, the question now is this court stopped from applying Section 5 of Rule 112 of the Rules of Criminal Procedure on the 32 informations filed before her? Of course not. The 32 informations are not the 2 initial informations determined by Judge Jamie B. Santiago to be dismissible on fair use. They are not the 2 informations determined by Judge Maria Paz Arreyes Ison to be the subjects of amendment. Yun. Kasi mga kabatas natin, after filing of the case, within 10 days ba? 10 days, mga kabatas natin. No?
Okay guys, konti lang naman na to. I'll gonna leave it na kayo na yung magtapos. Okay. Ako, tapos ko na to. Actually, this is the 3rd time na pinanood ko to. Now, bakit ba natin pinag-uusapan to at bakit nakalagay dito the reverse 32 cases ni Atty. Libayan? Ano ang mas aabangan? If you recall dun sa mga nakapanood ng live namin with Montemio at saka si Secretary Jing Paras, Bautista. Secretary Jing Paras. Ayon kay Secretary Paras, no time na nag-uusap-usap kami. Kung nagpo-file kayo ng mga kaso para lang makaabala, pwede rin naman mangyari na mag-file din ng counter na kaso para din makaabala? Hindi. Ngayon, sa tingin nyo, itong 32 cases na to, na naipanalo ni Atty. Libayan, do you really think this is just something na, okay, he's going to brush it off? Honestly, my answer is, hindi ko alam. However, meron nang nakaplano pag natapos yung 2 cases niya. Alam niyo kung anong pinakamalaking problema namin kay Atty. Libayan? Si Atty. Libayan ayaw na ayaw niyang maka-agrabyado. Ayaw na ayaw niyang siya ang magiging rason ng pahirap sa ibang tao. We've been encouraging him to file cases. Siya lang ang may ayaw. Ayaw niyang gawin sa kanya ang ginagawa sa kanya ni Raffy Tulfo. Using other people, filing disbarment cases, filing these 32 cases, filing other cases from different places. Ayaw niyang gawin yon. Because he knows for a fact na hindi siya nagpaka-abogado para may pahirapan siyang mga tao. 'Di ba? Now, do you really think, ay natatanungin ko, sa totoo lang hindi ko pa natatanong si Atty. Libayan patungkol dito. Do you really think na hindi magka-counter si Atty. Libayan patungkol dito sa 32 cases na to? Diba? Yun yung pinakamalaking question natin eh. Kasi, kung magpa-file si Atty. Libayan ng mga kaso, ito na lang, pwede itong makonsider as malicious prosecution laban sa kanya. 32 counts din yan. 'Di ba? Per count, yun din yung number of cases na i-file niya, na pwede niyang i-file. Ang tanong, laban kanino? Sino-sino ang pwedeng kasuhan ni Atty. Libayan tungkol sa 32 counts na yan? 'Di ba? I'm not going to give you any clues. Of course, I know kung sino yung pwede. 'Di ba? Alam ko kung sino yung pwede. Siyempre, si Atty. Libayan lang magde-decide niyan. Sino ang pwede niyang kasuhan in relation to the 32 cases na na-dismiss ng court? 'Di ba? At saan niya pa pwedeng magamit itong pagkapanalo niya na 32 cases? It's not just about the number, to be honest. It's not Si Attorney Libayan, he's not looking at the numbers sa pagkakaalam ko, the way I interpret it. Sa totoo lang, when he shared this omnibus resolution, he was happy. Dahil matagal niya nang pinaniniwalaan at sandigan niya that there are rules sa buhay ni Attorney Libayan na ang justice system ng Pilipinas is really working. Diba? Well, maliban dun sa part na siya isang litigator, diba? At nakikita niya yun on a daily basis whenever he's in front of the judges, whenever he's, doing his job as a litigator. Nanindigan siya that the judicial system cannot be influenced. Nanindigan siya that the judicial system is patas. No, maliban that it is working, is patas. Diba? Pero sasabihin ko yan kasi nanalo si Attorney Libayan. Win or lose, nakikita naman natin yan eh. I myself, I'm a living witness. I'm not saying that the judicial system is perfect. I'm saying that there are also members of the judiciary who are doing really their job. Diba? Hindi natatapatan ng ilang milyones. Hindi na-impluwensyahan. Hindi nakikinig sa mga pangako. Pero, tumitindig doon sa kanilang mga sinumpaan tungkulin bilang mga, sabihin na lang natin, hukom. If ganyan ang nangyayari, if this one continues, we can guarantee you na fair po ang hustisya sa Pilipinas. Diba? Sasabihin niya naman, ganyan naman talagang linya pagka nananalo sa mga kaso ng mga nananalo, diba? Mind you, again, ako, on my part, bilang nag-aaral pa lang, bilang estudyante pa lang, it's too early for me to see the corruption na meron gumagawa ng hindi ayos o tama. And nakakalungkot man. Diba? One time nga, yung mga kwentuhan namin nila Attorney Libayan, ang nasabi na lang sa akin ni Attorney Libayan, welcome to the club. Diba? But then again, at the end of the day, it's not the winning ang inaano ni Attorney Libayan dyan. It's not about yung case na na-dismiss. It's about the judiciary. No? Yung pananampalataya niya sa judiciary, yun yung tumindig para sa kanya. 'Di ba? At alam naman ni Attorney Libayan how happy we are for him. And again, babalik tayo dun sa title natin. Yung reverse 32 cases na final sa kanya na ngayon ay na-dismiss. Ano kaya ang gagawin ni Attorney Libayan sa 32 na yan? Sino-sino kaya ang pwedeng maging apektado sa 32 na yan? At magpo-file din ba? Yun yung pinaka-magic question natin. Magpo-file din ba si Attorney Libayan ng mga kaso pertaining dito sa 32 cases na to? Diba? Lalo na kung mas mabigat yung pinangahawakan niyang ebidensya. Kung bakit siya magpo-file ng mga cases doon sa mga magiging involved na tao. Ulitin ko, hindi ito pananakot, hindi ito warning, ito ay pinag-uusapan lang. Attorney Libayan has nothing to do with any of this. Hindi ko pa siya nakakausap kung meron siyang may kakasuhan or wala. Ito po ay isang simpleng pag-uusap lang. Anyway guys, again, maraming salamat sa panonood. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, at i-comment nyo na rin sa tingin nyo kung sino ang pwedeng madamay na kung sakali man magkaso si Attorney Libayan.